You've been lied to about car batteries. And winter is the one season that exposes the truth. Every October, they test perfect. Strong voltage. Solid cold cranking amps. The sticker says 750 cca. The brand name sounds legendary. The case looks premium. The price feels reassuring. Then January hits, minus 10 degrees, minus 18, minus 22, and suddenly that premium battery sounds like it's chewing gravel instead of starting your engine. And here's the uncomfortable question. Are you actually paying for performance or for marketing? I didn't want opinions. I wanted proof. So I built a real-world winter torture test that most battery companies would never dare to run publicly. 5 brand new Group 65 batteries. All rated at 750 cca. All installed in identical 2018 Honda Accords. Same engines. Same alternators. Same equipment packages. Same dealership delivery week. The only difference under the hood was the battery. No garages. No trickle chargers hiding weaknesses. Every car parked outside through 3 brutal Minnesota winters. Morning cold starts at 6 a.m. Temperatures routinely diving to minus 10 degrees Fahrenheit, -18 degree F. Even minus 22 degrees Fahrenheit. That's not lab simulation. That's survival mode. And before anyone says maintenance was the issue, no shortcuts. Monthly terminal cleaning with baking soda solution. Charging systems verified annually. No parasitic draws. No short trip abuse. No neglected vehicles. If a battery failed, it failed because of what it was made of, not because of how it was treated. But before I show you what happened, you need to understand why winter destroys weak batteries so brutally. Cold weather is the ultimate truth serum for a battery. At 0 degrees Fahrenheit, a fully charged battery can lose up to 60% of its cranking power. That shiny 750 cca rating? In real freezing conditions, you're working with something closer to 300 to 400 amps when you need it most. At the same time, your engine oil thickens dramatically. What flowed like syrup at 70 degrees Fahrenheit now feels like molasses. Your starter suddenly needs 2 to 3 times more torque to spin the engine. So you need more power, right when your battery can deliver less. And inside the battery, internal resistance climbs as temperatures drop. More energy gets wasted as heat instead of reaching the starter. Less output, higher demand, more resistance. That combination is brutal. Here's what part stores rarely explain. A battery can pass every warm weather test in October and still fail in January. The cold doesn't cause the failure. It exposes the weakness that was already hiding inside. I've load-tested batteries at 70 degrees Fahrenheit that looked perfect. Same battery tested at 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Marginal. At 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Complete collapse. Same unit. Different truth. That's why this 3-year winter test mattered. Let's start with the budget option. The first battery was the Everstart Max 65 from Walmart. Affordable. Manufactured by a major supplier. On paper, it looked like a smart value move. Winter 1 started smoothly. November and December were mild. No issues. But mild weather flatters every battery. Then January brought minus 8 degrees Fahrenheit. The Everstart cranked slowly, painfully. 8 long seconds before the engine caught. Voltage under load dipped into the low 9s. Weakest in the group already. February dipped further. Another sub-zero morning. This time it failed outright. Voltage dropped into the 8s. Wouldn't spin the engine fast enough to fire. First catastrophic failure of the test. It was jump-started, recharged properly, and monitored closely. But Winter 2 exposed the pattern. Another deep freeze. Another failure. Then came minus 22 degrees Fahrenheit, the coldest morning of the entire test. Completely dead. After just 2 years, it was done. Plates damaged from repeated deep discharges. Permanent capacity loss. Replacement required to keep the car operational. Here's the math that hurts. You save around $60 upfront versus a mid-tier battery, but you're replacing it twice as often. That cheap battery becomes more expensive long-term, especially if you factor in inconvenience, jump starts, and roadside calls. Next up was the die-hard Advanced Gold 65. That name carries legacy weight. Many of us grew up hearing that brand praised like it was indestructible. Winter 1. Acceptable, but not impressive. Slower cranking than expected for a premium label. Voltage numbers already slightly lower than top performers. Winter 2 showed accelerated decline. Longer cranking times. Lower voltage under load. Then -22 degrees Fahrenheit arrived. And it failed completely. Recharged carefully, it recovered partially. But the degradation was clear. By early winter of year 3, it permanently failed in relatively moderate sub-zero conditions. When I cut it open after the test, the lead plates measured around 1.4 millimeters thick. Thin plates mean less active material. Less material means less reserve capacity. Less reserve capacity means shorter life under stress. The name remained strong. The internal construction didn't match the reputation. Then came the Optima Redtop 65. Iconic red case. Spiral wound AGM design. Premium price. Marketing that screams performance. Winter 1 was decent. Not dominant. Just decent. Winter 2, noticeable decline. Voltage sagging more than expected. Cranking slower in deep cold. At -22 degrees Fahrenheit, it failed. Let that sink in. The high-priced Spiral AGM didn't survive conditions that a mid-tier flat-plate AGM did. It was recharged and managed to limp along. But by Winter 3, it was in a clear death spiral. Post-test disassembly revealed thinner plates than expected, partly due to the spiral design. The configuration looks impressive and compact, but it limits plate thickness compared to flat designs. And thickness matters in extreme climates. Then we had the Interstate MTP 65. This is the one many mechanics quietly recommend when customers ask what they'd install in their own cars. Winter 1. Solid. Strong voltage. Quick starts. Winter 2. Still dependable. Even on the -22 degrees Fahrenheit morning that killed 3 competitors, the Interstate cranked for a few seconds and started. Not flashy. Not dramatic. Just reliable. By Winter 3, it showed honest aging. Longer cranking times. Slight voltage drop. But it never left the vehicle stranded. 3 brutal winters. 0 catastrophic failures. Internally, plate thickness was better than the lower-tier brands. Manufacturing consistency felt tighter. Nothing glamorous. Just solid engineering. For many drivers in cold climates, that's the sweet spot between cost and performance. But then there was the Odyssey 65, PC 1750. Yes, it's expensive. It makes people hesitate. I hesitated. Winter 1. Instant starts. Strongest voltage readings of the group. Winter 2. Practically no measurable degradation. While others weakened, this one behaved like it was fresh out of the box. Then came -22 degrees Fahrenheit. The day that exposed everyone. It started immediately. After 2 years of brutal cold cycling, voltage remained impressively high under load. No hesitation. No drama. Winter 3. Still strong. Load testing showed nearly full rated capacity remaining. When opened for analysis, the difference was obvious. Significantly thicker plates. Higher compression of AGM materials. Brass terminals resisting corrosion. More active material inside the case. More material equals more reserve. More reserve equals stability under stress. It's physics, not branding. Now let's talk cost per year instead of sticker price. A cheaper battery lasting 2 years may actually cost more annually than a premium battery lasting 6 to 8. Once you calculate cost per year, plus inconvenience factor, the numbers flip. But here's the part most people ignore. Even the best battery can be killed early by bad habits. Short trips under 15 minutes starve batteries. The energy used to crank the engine isn't fully replenished. Do that repeatedly, and sulfation builds on the plates. Capacity drops permanently. Corroded terminals create resistance. Resistance prevents full charging. That shortens life silently. Parasitic draws above normal levels slowly drain batteries overnight. Faulty lights, modules, or audio systems can murder a battery without you realizing it. Deep discharges, like leaving headlights on overnight, physically damage plates. One severe discharge can shave months off lifespan. Battery life isn't just about what you buy. It's about how you use and maintain it. And climate matters. Extreme cold punishes cranking power. Extreme heat accelerates chemical breakdown and evaporates electrolyte. In desert climates, batteries often die from heat stress faster than from cold. Match the battery to your environment. Match it to your driving habits. Think long-term, not just upfront price. After 3 winters, 5 batteries, countless 6 a.m. cold starts, and hours of post-mortem analysis, one truth stood clear: marketing is loud. Engineering is quiet. The battery that lasted the longest wasn't the one with the flashiest case. It wasn't the one with the most aggressive advertising. It was the one built with more material, better compression, and fewer compromises. So here's my challenge to you. What battery are you running right now? How cold does it get where you live? How many years has it lasted? Drop your battery brand, your country, and your climate in the comments. Let's build a real-world database together. If this video saved you from wasting money on the wrong battery, hit like. Share it with someone who's about to replace theirs. Subscribe if you want more honest, no-nonsense car care deep dives like this. And tell me, where are you watching from? I read every single comment. Now, before winter tests your battery, test your knowledge. I'll see you in the next one.